For us now is that we need everything to win a football game. I don't think our offense is quite, far enough along. Although let me tell you, Caleb York's starting to play pretty dang good now, and our defense does some pretty good things, and our special teams. So it's got to be kind of a total team effort for us to to get it done. And some of the kinds of things you don't even consider when you start talking about. Maybe catching the punt as opposed to letting the punt roll. Do something like, when you're trying to get the ball deep down to make it feel longer for their offense. So we do a lot of things that you don't sometimes consider as being important. We call that sometimes hidden yardage, where you don't necessarily, the regular general fan wouldn't think that much about it, but we do. And makes the field longer or makes the field shorter, whatever it is, that's best for us. So a lot of that kind of stuff is the kind of stuff on special teams that we really need to make sure that we do in this game.
You were talking last week about needing to, even with the young receivers, get the passing game going. Well, you kind of lean on the passing game this week?
A little bit we did. Well. And we had a couple guys. Taquan West played really well. Had a nice, consistent kind of game. Had one bad play, but overall he played well. And then Jameson made a play or two. Jameson made a nice play on a screen ball where we got a little bit of a block out there. Charles Henderson and Taquan had a nice block out there, and we actually got up and into the secondary kind of free, and he was able to run in for a score. So we had some big plays that way, and we need more of them. We hadn't been quite enough of a big play team. We don't get enough big plays out of the running game. We like to get more of the pass game. Sometimes we try to find it in the screen game, and Hampton's big in the screen game, the draw game. They got a lot of different kinds of draws and screen within their deal. So not only do we have to sharpen up our own screen game, but we got to be prepared to deal with theirs because they do have a real intricate style of screen draw and delay game.
Speaking of the running game, and you got four guys averaging more than 4 yards a carry, and you talked about trying to get Scoot some more. I mean, would this maybe be a week that you would lean on the running game a little more?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We need to see if we can run a little bit. Hampton's defensive front's big now, and, I don't know how much we'll be able to move them around. But it'd be nice if we could build a consistent running game. We hadn't yet, and our offensive line's been kind of up and down. They play good sometimes and not so good sometimes. We make some mistakes and we move sometimes. We do some things in that one front that we've desperately tried to fix. And, we still kind of pull our hair out a little bit trying to get some of that kind of stuff to happen. But if we could create enough of a consistent style of play up front, and I think it would improve our run game to the point where we would have a little more confidence in the fact that we could go out and run the ball against people. But right now, we better mix it up because it's not quite the same deal as when you can just go out and slam people in the face.
Right. You still got more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns, so it shows the running game.
Well, yeah, but it's changing. Yeah, we starting to move a little bit.
Right.
Dondre Brown starting to find a little bit of a piece of a part in the play. He caught a couple touchdown balls. Should have probably run one in. Ran one in. Probably should have run another one in. Or some of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think we'll eventually figure out which one is best for us. But it's strange that this is game 8. Is that what it is? Is that something already?
Wow.
And we still kind of searching a little bit for some of the things that we need to probably maybe emphasize or do a little bit more of or be better at or some of that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. We still kind of work at it. News at 11. I guess we'll figure it out once we figure it out.
Right. So no key injuries off this past weekend? Or?
No. Hargraves has got a little bit of a deal, but I think he's okay. We hadn't played Darius Leonard that much. He's been kind of a let's see if we can kind of hold him some kind of guy. Moody is still struggling a little bit with a hamstring. Right. Did play some, but didn't play very much. Who else was it? I'm gonna tell you what. Caleb York got a pretty good little knack on the ankle with a sack that was a little bit scary, but I think he's pretty much okay. Got a couple other guys with some nicks and blues. Philip Henry's got an elbow. Eric Dixon's got a wrist. He's got a lot of that kind of stuff. I told him, I say, that kind of stuff we don't put on the injury report. But they do have those things, and I'm sure to them it hurts. So, we got to make sure that we do a good job of keeping those guys in the training room to continue to rehab and work the soreness out.
I'm sure with it being mostly like dings and bruises on a lot of them, they want to be ready for homecoming and come out and play. So.
That ought to help. We ought to have everybody on board who can be on board.
Right.
If you can't play a week like this week, then then your heart pumps Kool-Aid. You ain't got no real bone body to you. So I think you gotta. Yeah, I think you
don't
gotta.
think there's any chance they're looking beyond homecoming?
No, and I wonder if I worry about Hampton having looked past William & Mary a little bit to South Carolina State, because I think after they beat Morgan up at their place on homecoming, then then the next thing they probably were thinking about was back into that conference schedule. And then they throw a non-conference game in there on them in a way where it just kind of doesn't fit. And now they back on their conference deal. They've had a non-conference game back on their conference. I worry about them having not necessarily paid a very good attention to thinking more about South Carolina State and the fact that I think we got it going again and we ought to be able to get these guys, that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't think so. We are going to do our very best as a coaching staff to make sure that they understand how big a game this is. It's all the same for us. It's win or go home. Guy says every game is for all the marbles. If for some reason somebody should take one of your marbles, then you may as well throw the rest of them and give them the rest of them too, because at that point it's all over. So that's kind of where we're at. We got to figure out, how we get past this week, because if not, then, we got no bearing on the rest of the issue.
Right.
Okay. Coach, with the way you seen us play last week, you think they bought into that system when they go home?
Well, they know it's when to go home. We've had enough different kinds of times to say it to them. And I told them, I said that if we should happen to lose a football game, and that is a distinct possibility, then I'm going to play them young guys. I told them, I said, we're not going to be messing around trying to just act like we still got something to play for. I said, it ain't there anymore. And at that point, then I'm on about the task of seeing if we can get ready for 2016. Now, it's a lot more fun playing for something here this year right here, I said, and I desperately don't want to have to go that way. But if it happens, we move on. That's kind of how it works. So, yeah, I'm sure they have to a certain degree. And a lot of the guys play. We playing a lot of young guys too, so, I don't know how much that means. We got a couple offensive linemen. We got a couple DBs and that kind of stuff. They kind of know that, heck, Coach going to need us anyway. But at the same time, it will be a lot different kind of atmosphere around here to be out of it this early, because we generally are still playing for the gusto at this point. And I don't know if I know how to coach if I don't have something to coach for. Yeah.
All right.